Do you want a bikini competitor physique, but you don't actually want to compete? You're not alone, ladies. There's a lot of women out there that love the way competitors look, but they don't want to actually go through the whole process of getting on stage. And I don't blame you. It's tough, it's challenging, and it's hard. And in today's video, I'm going to tell you exactly how you can look just like a bikini competitor and feel in your best physique without having to go through the grind and the misery of actually doing a contest prep. We're going to include things like training splits and a lot of other important valuable items that are going to help you get where you want to be. So make sure you stick around all the way to the end of the video. I'm Ryan Milton from Team FFLEX, and you guys, we've been doing this for a long time, coaching competitors for a very, very long time. If you paid attention to anything at Team FFLEX, you know, on Instagram or on this YouTube, we do this every weekend. We're putting competitors on stage. Every single weekend we're putting bikini competitors on stage, and everybody knows about that. A lot of people don't realize, though, we have a large base of lifestyle clients as well. Me and my team of coaches, we have, you know, we have hundreds and hundreds, thousands of different clients that have been lifestyle clients that just come to us and they say, hey, you know what, we want to look like a bikini competitor, but I don't want to do the prep. I don't want to do all this. I mean, there's a number of reasons you wouldn't want to actually go about the prep process. Maybe you want to have a little bit more flexibility in your life, you know, be able to eat a lot more variety of things and, you know, not train as hard. And, you know, maybe you don't want to spend the money to be a competitor. It's a very expensive sport to, you know, have a membership and get a suit and buy the heels and do all this stuff. You don't want to practice, or maybe you just have stage fright. Totally normal to want that look and that aesthetic of that physique without actually getting on stage, and we do it every day. And here's what you have to understand. There's a few fundamentals of what make a bikini competitor physique a bikini competitor physique. You really want to start there when you figure out, how do I get that? And step one kind of in that sense is understanding what makes that physique, and I'll tell you what it is. It's the hourglass shape. All right, if you watch any of my competitor content, you know I talk about this all the time because it is the foundation of bikini. Bikini is a perfectly symmetrical division, upper to lower muscle, okay, building the upper body to match the lower body with the narrowing, the tightening effect of the waist. It's this classic hourglass shape that, you know, a lot of women want to attain. It's been, you know, a thing for a long time before even competitions were a thing, but that is what makes bikini. Now, a lot of people think this comes down to, you know, doing waist trainers and putting on fancy fat burning creams and all this weird stuff on your stomach to shrink you down, right? Actually, what it is it comes from building muscle. So you want to make sure that you have a program in place that's building these muscles to get this aesthetic. And it doesn't mean going to the gym and just doing a random bunch of exercises, you know, running through every machine you see in there or hitting this or that. It actually comes down to following a dedicated program that's going to target each individual muscle that you need to actually create that aesthetic. So for example, upper body. One of the things that is really important to have this kind of hourglass shape that a lot of women want, right? You have to get this width up top first, comes actually from building the shoulder. So when you can build your deltoids out and actually put on a little bit of shoulder development, this widens your physique up top. Okay, from the back, it's going to be into the lats, things like that. These are the first foundational muscles of the hourglass shape. And then when we move to lower body, obviously we're talking about glutes. We're talking about hamstrings, quads. These muscles there that create that opposite effect. That's how you get the hourglass. And again, I told you, we're going to get into splits here in just a minute, and I'm going to tell you, you know, more about how to train for this. But if you're getting anything out of this so far, you're liking the vibe, or, you know, you're new here, make sure you subscribe, because these videos, you know, a lot of people get a lot of things out of them. I've heard of people, you know, getting their entire goal achieved just by watching these videos, and that could be you. So hit that subscribe button, and if you have extra time, hit me a thumbs up. It helps me out. I appreciate it. So we're talking about the foundation of muscle, which makes the physique the physique. You got to go to the gym, you got to train, you got to build these specific areas in order to create that hourglass shape. Now, that's not the entire part of the equation. Obviously, when we're talking about a bikini competitor, you know, what you see on stage is them being show day lean is what we call it, right? In the sport, we call it show day lean. And the reason we call it show day lean is because that level of leanness, that conditioning, it's not something you have 365 days a year. And we don't have that with even bikini competitors. So if you're not even going to compete on stage, you know, and you just want this aesthetic, you better believe you're not going to be wanting to be at that level of body fat year round. For one, it's very hard to maintain. For two, it's just not sustainable. And, you know, for three, you don't need it to have that kind of look and that aesthetic. You know, bikini competitors in their off season, you can still often tell that they're in their off season and they're a competitor because they have still relatively lean body fat and obviously these muscles built just like we're talking about, that shape. Okay, so conditioning is a factor though for those of you out there. If you have more body fat than you want or you need to have that aesthetic, you're going to have to make sure you're bringing those areas into play when you're trying to get this type of physique. In other words, you have to build that muscle, but also have this percentage, you know, this relatively less effect of the body fat to get that. That's what actually brings a lot of that waste in. We're talking about this hourglass, we're talking about coming in narrow. You know, having a lower body fat percentage is something that helps that a lot, okay? So let's dive in now to actual training splits. What does this look like? When we bring a client on Team FFLEX, which we do all the time, and if you guys haven't checked out our programs, make sure you pop over to the site and check out our free trial. We're doing this when we bring them in. Where are they at versus where they need to be? So I say, okay, looking at this person's physique, you came over and you say, all right, hey, my name is something, and I want to actually look like a bikini competitor, but I don't want to compete. I say, okay, great. What does that mean to you, right? I'm looking at your physique, seeing where you're at, understanding your goal a little bit more. You have specifics to that. Everybody kind of always wants a little bit of a different aesthetic, and that's why, you know, these Google programs and these ebooks and all this generic stuff that's out there doesn't really serve a purpose for you most of the time. We're on Team FFLEX, for example, we're doing a bunch of customization to our programs. We're adjusting things. We're changing things constantly. We're making sure that all the variables are being met based on that person's progress. And that works for everybody, even who's a lifestyle type client, not trying to compete. Okay? And we're looking at that as variables, say, here's A, here's Z, how do we get there, what's in between? And then we get into the program design. All right? So if I know that somebody needs to build their upper body more, their lower body more, narrow in their waist a bit more to get this aesthetic, that's going to be the fundamental factor. Or if somebody has, you know, more body fat, they're, you know, maybe they have 20 pounds or something like that they need to lose to get that aesthetic, that's going to be a factor in your program design. An actual training split, though, generally is going to work like this. If you're out there and you're trying to figure this out for yourself, you want to kind of build out your program, think about 3 to 4 days a week of serious weight training, okay? And this is when you go to the gym and your goal is to build muscle, hypertrophy these muscles that you need to create this hourglass shape. And I say 3 to 4 days because you could do it a couple different ways. Split number 1 could be something like a full body split, where you do maybe a Monday, Wednesday, Friday. You got a day off between, couple days on the weekend off. That could be your split, where you go to the gym and you target the full body. You're working on the shoulders, you're working on the lats, you're working on the glutes, the hamstrings, the quads. You're in all these zones, kind of working your entire body as a unit. And, you know, that's perfectly good split for somebody who's trying to train for this goal of having that bikini physique without actually getting on stage. It's a lesser intensity. It's not 6 days a week in the gym. It's not 7 days a week in the gym. You don't need that. You need a good program, 3 days a week in the gym. So if you're the person that's busy, you don't have a lot of time to waste, you know, it's hard for you to get to the gym 4, 5, 6 days a week, don't. Just get a good program, get a good coach, get somebody that can guide you to this physique, okay? Where you're doing 3 days a week, full body workouts, targeting the areas to create this. And that all is going to work really well. Another option that I like a lot, 4-day split. And this is what we do with most of our clients, okay? Somebody has a little bit more time, maybe you just love the gym, you want to go more often, you don't want to take extra days off, you know, you have time to kill, in other words, some people do. And you want to kill it in the gym, go 4 days a week, even 5, right? Where you're going upper body day. You're going to the gym and it's a split where you're going to focus strictly on the shoulders, the back. Okay, that's a Monday. Tuesday, you go into the gym, maybe it's just glute day. You're gonna focus on the glutes, the hamstrings, lower body, but specific muscle groups. Then you take a day off on a Wednesday, you roll over to a Thursday where now we're hitting upper body again. It could be a little bit of arm work, could be a little bit of push work, shoulders, chest, things like that. It's upper body focused again. Every physique's different. Friday, we roll it back to a lower body day where now it might be quads and glutes. Something like that, where we're hitting each muscle group a couple different times, right? Funny thing is, you're actually getting more muscle frequency on the 3-day split, but you're getting a little bit more advanced training and volume, maybe more exercises and focus on each muscle group on a 4-day split, okay? So realistically, what it comes down to is either one of these are gonna work great. And you'll notice I didn't say anything specifically about direct abdominal work or anything like that. Bikini physiques really don't need much of this anyway, even the ones on stage. I don't do a lot of direct ab training because it can actually widen your physique out. It can actually square you up. And when we're talking about an hourglass, that's not going to be good. Going to stage, you know, doing a lot of ab training can be detrimental in a lot of cases. So a lot of times we're getting a lot of secondary work from good exercise selection on the abs. It's going to draw the core in, but we're not doing direct focus. So you could do a little bit depending where you're at. You might need a little bit here or there, but realistically, if you have good exercise selection in your program, going through it, and you're trying to train for this goal, you're going to get that physique start building already just in a natural way, in a sense, right? You don't have to focus directly on the abs to get that result. And that's great because it means one less group to focus on, you know, less time in the gym, less energy put out, and still getting the same results. So when When all these splits come together like this, you got to find the one that works for you, works for the schedule, is going to be the best fit for you. And obviously, you know, we're not diving too deep into exercise selection, things like that. I'm kind of giving you more muscle groups. On Team FFLEX, you guys, we do programs for this. We do it every day. Our top tier program for people that want to look like competitors but not compete is called the Bikini Builder, and it's on our website, teamfflex.com/bikini builder. We'll put it in the show notes. Strongly suggest you check this out and see if it's a fit for you. What it entails is, you know, training. It's talking about nutrition. It's got every variable covered and your own coach to help you get there. It's a lot easier than guessing, going through, taking some notes here and trying to figure it out. If you want to fast track those results, you want to get to the top quicker, that's the way to do it. And of course, on our website, we always do offer a free trial. You can check that out too. One thing we didn't talk too much about yet though in this video, we're not done yet, keep sticking with me, make sure you're subscribed if you haven't, is the nutrition aspect, right? We talked about conditioning. So how do you know where to put your nutrition when it comes to building this type of physique? Well, realistically, it's two different goals. If you want to build muscle to create those shapes and get that aesthetic, you're going to have a little bit more calories. And if you need to actually burn body fat, bring it down, get leaner, you're going to have a little bit less calories. You'll see how now we have this issue where higher calories to build, lower calories to cut body fat. Well, how do we do that? You got to really assess where your physique is and what the most important goal is for you in that time, and realize you're actually going to have to tackle both goals at some point. So for most people, it comes to, okay, I got to build for a little bit. Got to add those right muscles with those ratios, means the calories are higher. Some people, you know, they might have a lot more body fat to lose actually, and that becomes their top tier goal, where actually you want to have the calories be lower. Either way, you know, your goal is to have the shape and this aesthetic before you start cutting the calories. So if you're the athlete that had, or this client in a sense, right? You see, clients and athletes almost go hand in hand when we're talking about some of these things. If you're the person that wants to actually build the physique first, get there, then you got to get those muscles, then you got to diet down. You don't want to do this simultaneously. Now, again, this is where good coaching can come in play, because we do this on Team FFLEX a lot with our lifestyle clients and of course our competitors, where we're doing a little bit of both. We're making shape changes to the physique, we're adding some muscle, and we're also burning body fat. And that's huge advantage to everybody out there. I mean, you can shortcut doing these two processes. Very hard to do yourself, very hard to do if you're a beginner, very hard to do if you don't know what to do to actually do that. And thus, that's why it's good to have a coach. But I'm just giving you all the options out there so everything makes sense and you really can tie together in your brain. I want to go from getting where I'm at now to having a bikini competitor style physique, but I don't want to step on stage. This is what you got to do, okay? And this is realistically what it takes. A focus on your training, that's a program, and a focus on your nutrition, that's a program. And boom, that's it. And the best part is you can get this great aesthetic, you can get this great look, one that you're in love with, that you like, and the physique that, you know, you see other competitors on Instagram, stuff like that have, and you don't have to get on stage. You don't have to worry about the extra finances. You don't have to worry about, you know, all these extra things and paying for a prep coach and doing all this stuff. You know, you don't have to go through any of what a lot of competitors do when they want to get on stage. And you know what's cool? If you go through this process and you start building this physique and you get these results and you really like it, then you could always make a quick hop over to actually becoming a competitor. It's like an easy transition to have done most of the work already and then just put it on stage, going through a prep, doing some extra intensity, different programming, than it is to go from 0 to 60, right? So there's a lot of different ways. It could be you just want this aesthetic. It could be that you want it with the idea to see if you want to compete, you know, or you could want to actually compete. There's all different types of people, and what it comes down to is understanding your goal and what you want out of it. And that's why, again, I tell you constantly, every video you guys watch, I know you're hearing me say it, having a good coach that does good programming, custom programming, all these things for you will be the differentiating factor. There's 1,000 ways to try to do it cheaper. There's 1,000 ways to try to do it yourself. There's 1,000 articles you could read and so on and so forth, but none of them are going to get you to the result you actually want. And you could spend years, hours, days, times, decades trying to figure this out yourself, or you can just instantly figure out, hey, you know what, it's worth investing in myself, knowing what I want to get, and I'm going to get myself a coach who can help me do it, you guys. So of course on Team FFLEX we have programs. I want to make sure you head over to the site and at least do the trial by now. You made it this far, check out our free trial. It's totally free. I'm not taking your credit card info. I'm not doing anything. We do this as a value add, to give back to you, the audience, the people. We want to help you, and if you made it this far, I really want to see you achieve these damn goals. So head over to the website, subscribe to that trial. It's just your email. You're going to be instantly invited in the coaching app where me or one of my coaches, we're going to set you up and take you through an experience, teach you exactly how to do this. We can show you these exact splits, show you the exercises, tell you everything you need to know about exactly how to get your bikini competitor style physique without actually getting on stage. And if you guys like the channel, you like the videos, you like the stuff we're doing, give me a thumbs up. Make sure you're subscribed. Low amount of subscribers out there compared to the people watching the videos. We're really trying to ramp this up. So make sure you do that and comment below. Let me know what stuff you want me to talk about more. Did you like this video? You want me to go more in depth? You want some exercise actual selection here? Let me know and we'll do it for you guys. That's what we do. Coach Rye is out.